Hello, Charles and Gail. Here's the finished booster that you've had so much difficulty with in the past. And as I've said before, I hope and believe I will be the last person that has to mess with your booster for many years to come. All right, we're going to test it. Let's see. Beforehand, we got the new remanufactured. I say remanufactured because this thing has got new high-tech parts in it and has been machined. So we've got a great sealing surface inside. There's one popping in here with two sealing surfaces for an intake and in and out, and that's been taken care of. We got the can plated as per original, and the plating is on the inside as well as the outside. That's where we need it, on the inside, to prevent rust and to make sure the vacuum diaphragm has a good clean surface to move against. Okay, so our expected values. I'm going to turn the machine on. My vacuum pump is going to produce vacuum. It'll be registered on the gauges here. And this gauge will stay constant, hence the term constant. And the control gauge is going to approach 0 as the booster is applied. And when the gauge reads 0, the booster is fully applied. And that gauge is tied into this hose right here, which goes all the way around here and goes into this test port right here. So there's a test port that you can access anytime you want. Put a vacuum gauge in there, have the car idling, and push on the brakes and watch the gauge approach 0. Over here on the hydraulics side, we've got our input, which is this fitting down here. Input. These two gauges are tied together. This gauge is going to go max out, and this gauge is going to max out and read final input pressure as supplied by my test equipment. Output. Again, both gauges are tied together. This gauge will max out, and this is going to read final output pressure. This is at least a 3-to-1 boost ratio booster. So we want 3 times what is registered over here to read over here. So we're looking at least 1,000 psi output from my test rig. While we got under pressure, we will again check for leaks. No leak here, no leak there, no leaks in the bleed screws. Believe I got you a good booster. Holds vacuum, so I think you are good to go. Thank you for your patience and for sending it to me. Also, couple other things. This jam nut is designed to hold the slave cylinder in position, but it's not going to produce enough torque holding to keep this slave cylinder from moving if someone's really torquing down on this fitting at the on the nose of the booster. So that's why they got flats right here, so you can hold this with a wrench and then do the final tightening on your fitting right there. Trying to think what else I was going to mention. I guess that was it. Oh, also, yeah, I was going to mention on the stoplight switch, if you need to replace the stoplight switch, these are standard 10x1 threads, and this is a 10x1 thread, except this is a tapered pipe thread or tapered thread. So you don't need to screw the brake light switch in all the way flush or have a sealing washer underneath it. You just screw it in enough until the tapered threads don't allow any brake fluid to leak out. And in fact, I think I even tightened this one just by hand. Yeah, I just tightened this one by hand, so it doesn't take much to keep them from leaking. But so don't, if this is replaced, please don't wrench down on it and screw it in all the way, because it ruins the threads in the slave cylinder on the booster. Thank you.